So the Rows go down to the Lunar Owls in a very chippy, very competitive, tensions are high, trash-talking game.
Did you catch Angel Reese totally unraveling in that unrivaled league matchup against Napheesa Collier? Everyone's buzzing about the double-double, 17 points and 10 boards, but hardly anyone is talking about the 7 turnovers she piled up by repeatedly trying to force her way through Collier as if brute strength alone was going to solve everything.
That play. The Rows unfortunately lost to the Lunar Owls. Unfortunately, not for me. It's hootie hoo all day over here, baby. Hootie who are you? Go back and do what you do. Whatever the case may be.
The wildest part? While Reese was out there treating the game like a demolition derby, Collier stayed calm and composed, delivering a straight-up clinic, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and a block. That poise is exactly why the Lunar Owls cruised to a 66-56 victory. And let's not ignore Reese's now viral hoodie moment after the game, because that clip is everywhere online right now and only added more fuel to the conversation.
Angel Reese has definitely glowed up ever since Lisa Leslie has said, you know what, I'm going to work with you on your layups. I have been noticing in every game they have gotten more purposeful, less kind of like toss up and pray for the best.
Did you see Angel Reese trying to flat out run through Napheesa Collier like she didn't even exist? That wasn't basketball, it was pure bulldozing. And the irony makes it worse. Reese came into this game fresh off those much-publicized layup sessions with Lisa Leslie, where the legend herself was working with her on being more deliberate and controlled around the rim. Ever since Leslie stepped in, there has been noticeable improvement. Her attempts have looked more intentional, less of that wild toss-it-up-and-hope approach. But instead of showing off that progress, Reese turned this matchup into a demolition derby. 7 turnovers, yes, 7, tell you everything about her mindset. She wasn't playing basketball, she was playing wrecking ball. And then came the most cringeworthy moment of all, the attempted self-alley-oop off the backboard that clipped the underside instead. Commentators called it a complete disaster, and fans weren't cheering, they were wincing. Sure, she still walked away with another double-double, but context matters. There's a reason scoring looks inflated and unrivaled. You're not facing the same level of defensive pressure you'd see in the WNBA. Even with that advantage, Reese's physicality crossed the line from aggressive play into something far messier, and it showed all night long.
And of course, she does come away with yet another double-double. Now, with all these talks about, high people and scoring higher points, there is a reason for that in Unrivaled, and that is because you are not being guarded as much as you would in the WNBA.
At times, it crossed the line into outright recklessness. There was a moment when Reese threw an elbow directly into Napheesa Collier's face, and somehow the officials completely missed it. The game was already getting physical, but that no call cranked the tension all the way up. Instead of creating space and hunting smart shots, Reese became fixated on initiating contact, and her efficiency paid the price. Yes, the box score shows another solid night. 17 points, 10 rebounds, 50% shooting, and a double-double. On the surface, that looks good. But 7 turnovers? That's a major problem. No one is denying Reese's raw talent or her ability to pile up stats, but when you actually break down those numbers, the cracks start to show. That 50% shooting loses its shine when most of the attempts came right at the rim. For a player of her level, missing that many high-percentage looks isn't just an off night, it's underperformance. 7 turnovers in roughly 28 minutes is ugly, no matter how you spin it. And what likely frustrated her coaches the most was her lack of focus. Instead of getting back on defense after scoring, Reese was too busy jawing at opponents. Those moments of showboating weren't harmless. They cost her team in transition, and the Lunar Owls made her pay, turning every lapse into easy points. It was a chippy game, no doubt. Some might call the contact unnecessary rather than dirty, but even with Lisa Leslie working with her on finishing and fundamentals, Reese seemed far more invested in confrontation than in actually refining her game. Every time she grabbed a rebound or scored, instead of channeling that momentum into elevating her game, Reese burned energy on unnecessary physical clashes and over-the-top celebrations. Those distractions didn't just disrupt her rhythm, they pulled her completely out of the flow. You could see the tension building between her and Shakira Austin, the two going back and forth all game, trading bumps and words. And honestly, that edge might be something worth watching in future matchups. This is unrivaled, after all. But those 7 turnovers weren't flukes. They were momentum killers. Every time her team started to settle in, another careless possession handed the ball right back to the Lunar Owls. That failed attempt to bank the ball off the backboard wasn't just a single mistake. It summed up her entire approach. Flash over fundamentals, aggression over execution. The box score will show another double-double, and on paper it looks impressive. But anyone who actually watched the game knows those numbers came at a cost. Nearly every point and rebound felt like it carried an asterisk, chipping away at overall team success. By prioritizing physical dominance instead of basketball IQ, Reese ended up undercutting her own stat line. She spent much of the night bumping and frustrating Napheesa Collier, but when the final horn sounded, it was the Lunar Owls who walked away with the win.
We saw 1 turnover right there. I believe there was an offensive foul. We lose the ball here, we lose the ball there. 7 turnovers in 21, let's say 28 minutes of basketball. That's nasty work.
What really stood out was how Collier handled all that physical punishment. Every time Reese tried to bulldoze her way to the rim, Collier answered with flawless defensive positioning and timing. She didn't try to fight strength with strength. She simply played smarter, choosing the right moments and angles to make her impact. She gave Reese no space, absorbed the contact, and stayed completely composed. That elbow incident could have changed everything. Most players would have retaliated or let it knock them off balance, but Collier did the opposite. She locked in, turning that moment into fuel for laser-sharp focus. Even as the physicality intensified, her shooting touch never wavered, proving that at this level, mental toughness matters just as much as physical ability. If you were paying close attention, you also caught that sequence where Adela stripped Reese and Collier nearly came away with the ball. Pure, chippy, competitive basketball. Analysts couldn't ignore the contrast either. As one post-game breakdown put it, Collier had a bad game, and even then, that still meant 16 points. Think about that for a moment. Even on an off night, she still performed at an elite level. That's what separates special players from the rest. And when she sealed the win with a game-clinching bucket, there was no trash talk, no extra celebration, no wasted energy on anything that didn't directly help her team. That's the difference between chasing highlights and chasing championships. Meanwhile, the trash talk elsewhere on the court was nonstop. Courtney Williams caught fire in the 3rd quarter and made sure the entire Roses squad heard about it after every bucket. The verbal jabs kept flying, pushing the intensity even higher. This wasn't just another regular season game. It felt personal. The Lunar Owls and the Roses had been circling each other all season like 2 predators fighting over the same territory, and every meeting only added more fuel to the fire.
Just cooking up. Send Shakira Austin to the floor with that little elbow. Dirty? I wouldn't go that far. Unnecessary. Yeah, but this was a chippy game, folks.
Chelsea Gray and Skylar Diggins-Smith were locked in their own duel, trading buckets and stare-downs in a full-on battle of wills. The game quickly took on a raw, park-run energy with extra shoves, long glares, and non-stop jawing. Shakira Austin quietly dominated Angel Reese on both ends, dropping 17 points on scorching efficiency while exposing defensive gaps. Brittany Sykes added 17 of her own in limited minutes, proving this matchup ran deeper than just the stars. By the final buzzer, when Napheesa Collier hit Reese with the viral "Hoodie Who" moment, the message was clear: composed skill beats flashy aggression. This rivalry isn't just heated, it's redefining unrivaled.